And we are live. So, welcome to episode 307 of An American Werewolf. Yeah. I am Michael Martin, the American Werewolf, and I drink. In the house tonight, we've got John Wick's dog's friend.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
Yeah, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. It's been several weeks.
Yes.
The show is back. We had tried to take on some Wes Craven, but then watching the Wes Craven films that were available, I quickly decided that we were not doing that. And let's take a little hiatus and enjoy some warm weather. Some days we're warm, some days we're not, but now we seem to be getting into the swing of things for summer. And here we are. The director for the month is Tony Scott. Which is a director I'm very much looking forward to covering, and I thought we'd get right to it with one of my favorite films, period. I'm talking about Tony Scott's Man on Fire. So if you're ready to go, shall we get it going?
Hit it.
Boogie boogie. Haven't heard the Pygmy Love Circus since the last time we were on.
Been a while.
Yeah. So you and I were there for 13 Assassins, and I think that you were the one who started to discuss the concept of the man with a code.
Yes. Same with the Ghost Dog.
Yeah. And a lot of the samurai films that we discussed.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought of that again when I watched this. You got a guy who has sort of lost himself because I think he's gone against his own code, and he's very ashamed and horrified probably by a lot of the things that he's done, which you don't see. He steps into the character already broken, alcoholic, and sort of traumatized, kind of drifting through different parts of the world until he lands there with his friend Rayburn, played by Christopher Walken, who I love in this movie, by the way.
Yep, good stuff.
And so I guess the summary is that he slowly begins to put his life back together again, only to be confronted by, I guess, something so horrible and offensive to his sensibilities that he just sort of erupts into this sort. It's almost like the wrath of the Lord descends on these people. And this is from Wikipedia. It says Man on Fire is an action thriller directed and produced by Tony Scott from a screenplay by Brian Helgeland and co-produced by Arnon Milchan. It is based on the 1980 novel by A.J. Quinnell. The film stars Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning in lead roles alongside Christopher Walken, Radha Mitchell, Giancarlo Giannini, Marc Anthony, Rachel Ticotin, and Mickey Rourke in supporting roles. The film follows a despondent, alcoholic, former CIA officer-turned-bodyguard who embarks on a violent revenge spree after a 9-year-old under his charge is kidnapped in Mexico City. The adaptation shifts the setting from Naples, Italy to Mexico City, diverging from the earlier 1987 version of Quinnell's novel, which was also produced by Milchan. Man on Fire was released in the United States by 20th Century Fox on April 23, 2004. The film received polarized reviews from critics, but grossed $130.3 million worldwide against a budget of 60 to 70 million. Fanning's performance earned her nomination for the Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Young Performer and the Young Artist Award for Best Leading Young Actress in a Feature Film. Additionally, the film received 2 nominations at the 36th NAACP Image Awards, Outstanding Motion Picture and Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture for Washington. And they just did a remake into a miniseries on Netflix, which I've watched part of. It's okay. So you're John Wick's dog's friend. What did you think of this film? What do you got for us?
All right, I'll say I like the film. It kept my attention, definitely.
Had you seen it before?
No, I'd never seen it before.
So that's different. This is a first-time view. Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah. So this is a genre that I completely ignore. I don't know why it is, but I watch less of these than I see Westerns. And it's the guy with a certain set of skills that you've crossed, and he must get his revenge.
Yes.
I almost never see these movies, but I would say that this one is a really good one. But I haven't seen like all those Liam Neeson movies and the other franchise of Denzel's and the John Wicks and all those. I don't sit and watch those movies, but this one was particularly interesting in that almost the first half of the movie is all characterization, which you don't get from action movies. And we were pleasantly surprised. I watched it with my wife, and we're like, we're waiting for the kidnapping to get underway and the whole plot, device to move in, and it didn't really happen like that. It was a lot of characterization. We're getting to know this guy. We're getting to know the girl. We're getting to know the mom. We're getting to know his friend. And I appreciated that. It was well done, setting it up for what would later be the action section. So I would say I enjoyed it. The other thing that really stuck out to me was that it's just jam-packed with Catholic imagery and Catholic themes, which was also, sets it a cut above the usual, action film tropes.
I would say just very quickly, if you're going to watch, I would strongly recommend the first Luc Besson's Taken with Liam Neeson and all of the John Wick films, all of them. These are films that could just as easily be Jason Statham films or Steven Seagal. Like you could see Steven Seagal playing.
Yeah, you could replace him. You could replace Denzel with anybody. However, I thought Denzel was really good in this, and Denzel is one of my favorite actors. I really like him a lot, and he has a broad range of stuff that he can bring a gravitas to, and that was this movie. I thought he really, really dug in and gave us something other than, the standard action movie hero guy.
It's interesting in that I think that for the first half of the film, you're sort of in this bubble. You're in Denzel's bubble where he's struggling. He's struggling not to take his life. He actually, at one point, he attempts to kill himself. He's drinking heavily. He's despondent. He's angry and sullen, even if he takes a job. He's kind of rude to people.
Yep.
It's like, have you ever, of course, we've all said something and like immediately regretted it. You're like, shit, I shouldn't have said that. You see that several, yeah, well, less and less as I get older, less and less, but I still do it. But you can see like the reaction, like in the scene where he's driving with Dakota Fanning, who is another thing entirely in this film. And she gets out of the car and sits in the back.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck. You can see the look, fuck, I fucked that up. I didn't have to do all that,
Right.
But he's just so full of guilt and rage, and, he's just angry.
Yeah.
It's the same thing later that day with his mother. Her mother comes in and tries to talk to him, and he's just, it's like talking to a chalkboard, and then you can see the look on her face. She's like, fine, okay, pick me up in the morning, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then she closes the door, and he's like, fuck, I fucked up. I did it again.
But he's at least very honest about it. Like, he told his friend, like, yeah, I drink. And then he goes to the job interview, and the first thing he tells him is like, I fucking drink. I'm slow. If your daughter's going to be kidnapped,
yeah.
I might do something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. I love that. He's like, if top professionals, he's like, I'll do my best. He goes, but the service is going to be on par with the pay, And they're like, well, what if amateurs do it? He goes, I'll probably just kill him. He's like, is that going to happen? And she's like, no.
Yeah. Like the first shootout, I expected him to just be dead. I'm like, what's going on? He just got gut shot. Everything that he said was going to happen happened. But, and then there's the but, and then we go on.
Well, the thing that I was leading up to was that you're in this bubble as he begins to recover through this attachment that he forms to this little girl who is just innocent and sweet and kind, and she just loves everything and loves everybody, and she like loves him before he doesn't even love himself, but she loves him. She's like this little beautiful angel, and that helps to like bring him back,
right?
And that's after he fails to kill himself, like he actually puts a gun to his head and the bullet doesn't fire.
So I take it there was some big traumatic event in his counterinsurgency job or whatever that him and his friend Christopher Walken both know about. The thing that left him scarred on his hand as well as his soul. That whole trope. But that made sense. And he's like questioning whether he should even be alive or go on. And I think the innocence of the girl and him protecting her is like, he found this purpose of this mission.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. The first half is, he begins to become whole again. And then all of a sudden, you're exposed to this violation, which is what occurs because you almost forget that they're living in the developing world. And the developing world has a completely different set of rules than the Western world, where we're exposed suddenly to industrial level kidnapping and torture and murder. It's a business. Like, you're not kidnapping and torturing someone for information. You're doing it for profit. Like, that's your job.
And the corruption, as bad as we think corruption is here, it's multi-level and almost like accepted there.
Yeah, well, it is. It's completely accepted, and it's systemic. And you realize, a lot of like these people. There are a lot of good people that are just trapped. And that the police officers that are supposed to be the ones helping you are the ones that are actually conducting the kidnappings. Facilitating the torture and the murder. Like, the whole world is just topsy-turvy. And so his code, that he's finally managed to achieve again, and, he's getting sober and he's reading his Bible. He's been talking to the nun, and he becomes, friends sort of, even with the mother, Radha Mitchell. She kind of plays the trophy wife, to the wealthy auto executive. He starts to put things together, and then this awful thing just kind of happens in that they kidnap this little girl. And the fucked up thing is that, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so ordinary and everyday.
Yeah.
You know,
Mexico.
Yeah, well, there's a scene in like there's an overarching theme I said, which is just stay the fuck out of Mexico. You know, but there's this great scene in the film towards the end where he starts to like, you know, he just descends his wrath on all these people, and he's got that guy's brother, or he's talking to somebody. Oh no, it's at the kidnapping when the kidnapper, the voice is telling Marc Anthony and his wife that the daughter is dead.
Yeah.
And like he's sitting at the pool.
Right.
His brother's juggling balls. He's got like his legs in the pool, and there's a little girl playing, and like 10 yards away, they're discussing murder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how
it's so ingrained and so normal.
That's how institutionalized the evil is. It's like industrialized evil going on there. And I mean, we're sort of jumping all over the place, but not really. But I just love that he just deals on these fucking people. Like there's no negotiating. Like you need to die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've committed this grievous, unforgivable sin, and you're just going to fucking die now.
Yep.
You know, awfully, painfully, in whatever way that, you know, I deem necessary. And as I said, this could just have easily have been a Jason Statham movie. But just like the Taken movie, the fact that it's Denzel Washington, and in that case it was Liam Neeson, adds something else that just isn't there.
Yeah. Well, that trope is it's a thing you can set your watch by and know, you know, how the movie's going to play out before you even turn it on. The best part about those movies is just the way you get there. So it's not so much the journey, but all the places you go on the way. And like I said, this one is really good at, you know, arranging the chairs on the deck in a way that's interesting.
Yeah. It's, you know, so there's a heavy theme of redemption here.
Yes.
You know, I guess there's redemption, you know, a sort of rebirth, which again sort of gets spoiled. And that, you know, he sort of he develops this unconditional love for her. Mm-hmm. You know, it says the heart of the film is the unlikely father-daughter. And he kind of is like her father, because when you find out who her father really is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and there's that great line in the movie where Sister Anna says, "You're her father today."
Yeah.
You know, and like he doesn't know what to do with that. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not all the way there yet. You know, and he's like, I don't know if I'm. And it's just, you know, it's fantastic. It's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
What did you think of Dakota Fanning?
I was surprised. I didn't really. I didn't put two and two together until she was on the screen, and I went, "Oh, hey, there's that girl." As a kid, because I've seen so much stuff of her work now. You know, 20 some odd years later. You know, that seeing her as a little kid again was like, "Oh, all right, sure." I thought she did really well. One of the things that went on in there was the coaching scene where he's trying to get her to not be scared of the gun and to win swimming meet, which didn't necessarily need to be there, but it was a really good way of showing him sort of taking on this caretaker role, you know, becoming her coach and teaching her how to get off the platform, which was really a really good scene that they both did really well, but I thought she did really well in it.
Yeah, she just plays a pure soul. You know, she's just a pure soul in all this. And, you know, I started at this show many years ago complaining about, you know, child actors. But as I've gone on, you know, going now into the, I don't know, 5th year of this or whatever, I mean, she's going nose to nose with Denzel Washington and holding her own. I hate to say it in its own way. Like, this is my favorite role of hers. I don't know too much else of what she's done. She was actually with him in the last Equalizer movie. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's kind of interesting, but she's just fantastic in this. You've got Mickey Rourke with a bit role doing his usual scumbag routine.
That was surprising. I did not expect him to show up in this movie, and I was like, "Oh, cool,
Yeah,
very nice."
yeah. Mickey Rourke's in here. Walken. I love the only thing I regret, or not regret. I wish this movie had done. I wish Walken had gotten in on some of the killing.
Well, I kind of had a theory as we were going in it that he was kind of in on it, because it seemed like that whole, my oldest friend is my betrayer thing would go on, but that didn't pan out. All my theories going through it didn't work out.
Yeah, it's just it plays out exactly the way it seems, with the exception of the fact that, of course, and you're right about the Catholic themes,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought it was, I don't even know what the word is, that these kidnappers were talking about the Virgin of Guadalupe, that Marc Anthony, her father, talking about they're praying, while they're kidnapping, while they're torturing, while they're murdering. Marc Anthony is praying to the Virgin of Guadalupe while he sells his own daughter into a kidnapping, so he can bail out his debts.
Yeah. Well, he's making a Sophie's choice, and he's trying to be forgiven as he's doing the sin, which never really works out that well,
There are sins, though, and there are sins.
Yeah, and this one's a really bad one. And he's trying to justify. He's trying to justify it by praying while he's doing it, but that's no good.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I'm not going to make sainthood anytime soon myself, but Lord Almighty, selling your own daughter into a kidnapping to bail out your debts.
Well, it wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah. It's interesting. I had a DVD copy of this that had a lot of special editions. This is just a regular Blu-ray. In the DVD version, Denzel ends up hooking up at the beginning of the film with the trophy wife.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he ends up hooking up with her, with the trophy wife. There's a lot of there's an alternate ending to this. I don't know if you know about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Well, is the alternate ending where Dakota Fanning stays dead? Because I was kind of a little bit disappointed that suddenly at the end she's like, oh, she's alive. Hey.
No, he becomes a suicide bomber.
Yeah, so I was thinking that he was going to have one of those ass bombs as he across the bridge.
That's what happens in the alternate version. They're getting ready to kill him, and he's just laughing at them, and they can't figure out why. And it's because he's turned himself into a suicide bomber. I mean, his entire world that he's managed to rebuild just gets dismantled. He believes that girl is dead, and all of a sudden, you sort of see the person that he can become.
Yeah.
And I just don't, I didn't have any pity for any of those people.
Right.
That he took that out on.
Why they got to pick on Jersey, the guy at the club? Why does it got to be from New Jersey, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, I know. What was the other? There was another movie where the Polar Express, where the bad kid kept denying that he didn't do anything. Yeah. He was from New Jersey. Yeah. It's always Jersey. Okay. But I mean, he just and the thing of it is like, for everything that he does in this film, there's no over the top rage. Everything stays within, sort of an even keel. He's got that guy tied up in the car, and he's cutting his fingers off. He's cutting his ears off, and he's just talking to him while he's doing it.
Yep.
You sure?
But the guy losing his mind is the one that keeps going, I'm a professional. And he's sitting there laughing almost, just like, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Let me cauterize your finger with the cigarette lighter. It's okay.
The guy with the charge up his ass. He's just talking to him. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Are you sure? Right? You got nothing to do. You want to tell me? 3 minutes. You got nothing. Okay. And I mean, like, it's just. I don't know if you noticed it. Right before that guy explodes, his ass starts to smoke.
I did not notice it.
His ass starts to smoke, and I'm like, holy shit, you know.
Good stuff.
Yeah. That. I mean, it's just so sleazy. He's at the rave. The guy from New Jersey is doing this for $200 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's horrible. Horrible.
Like it's just, it's inconceivable almost.
Wow, $200. You live like a king, like Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
so like, look at how I'm living. It's like, okay. I mean, I guess you're doing okay.
Walken was doing okay. He's probably making more than $200 a week. I mean, he's chauffeuring, Toyota and, all these people back and forth across the border.
Right.
I think the end result, of course, is that Radha Mitchell takes her kids and gets the fuck across the border. Don't go to Mexico.
No, don't.
Don't go to Mexico. Don't do that.
And that was early. I mean, that was when we first started hearing about all the stuff going on in Mexico, and it's just escalated since then.
Yeah, this was long before Sicario or any of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just institutionalized kidnapping, institutionalized evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's an industry. It's an industry out there, and yeah, you don't want to go. I have a couple of friends who go. They never leave the resort.
Oh yeah, well you can't.
Well,
that's not even a good vacation. If you can't leave the resort, you might as well stay in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you just get a boat, like rent a boat for a week and go down to the Mullica River and go down to Sweetwater and dock out
there.
Right,
you can hang out on the Sweetwater dock, and it's the same experience. You're drinking, you're eating.
Yeah, if you need to go back to the house, you can check it because you're 10 minutes away or something like that. But no, they go on these vacations and like never leave the resort, which to me just isn't a vacation. Like if I can't go exploring, like I'm not going to go. And you hear about this from time to time. Surfers, they get killed, or kidnapped or something. They get stabbed, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? It's a scary thing. How thin the line is between, the developed world and the third world.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's a shame because there's places that are extremely beautiful there that you just can't go because you're going to wind up with your head cut off.
Yeah, and there are extremely beautiful people that live there. That was one of the interesting conversations we were having. We were talking about Candyman. There are a lot of people that live in the projects that aren't crazy about living in the projects, but maybe don't have the means to get out, this, that, or the other. There are people there who are just trapped by crime and poverty. As Trump has tried to clean up some of these places like Memphis. Mm-hmm. I remember one lady, black lady, she came out and she goes, I'm able, like my kids can play in the yard for the first time in like 5 years. Mm. She's like, I'm content. Like I can sit on my stoop. Me and my friends can sit on the stoops and just talk to each other. It's that kind of thing.
I just finished rewatching The Wire, the part where they move all the drug dealers and criminals into those zones, and the rest of the neighborhood, the rest of the Eastern District is like, everyone's happy.
Yeah, what is it, Zombieland or something like that they call it?
Amsterdam.
Oh, shit. I loved how there's that one scene in the first season where McNulty goes off on that DA that he's banging about how everybody could actually do something if they weren't always worried about their own personal advancement. Mm-hmm. That's why nothing ever gets done. Like nobody ever wants to risk their spot, because she's yelling at him because he got after that scumbag criminal lawyer. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you motherfuckers ever just once did your job, he said, but no, everybody's got to be friends. Everybody's got to have a career. Everybody that's a lawyer wants to be a judge. You can never just be content.
Even if you're not necessarily corrupt, you're still playing politics and trying to keep your zone clean.
Yeah. It said Denzel Washington got the role after a chance meeting with Tony Scott in a doctor's waiting room. They hadn't seen each other in years, and the conversation sparked it all.
Well, what did he do right before this? What was Denzel doing?
That's a good question.
Was he coming off of all those Spike Lee movies, or did he do something? Did he have like a period in between?
Hold on, that's an interesting question. Hold on, I'm going to go down his filmography. Let's see. So it's 2004. He's had a hell of a filmography.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like one of the best ever. He even goes back to like 1980. He was in License to Kill. That's a TV movie. I thought he was Coriolanus. He was doing Coriolanus in the 70s.
Yeah, I remember him when he first popped up on that Mr. Charlie movie, which he was really good in.
I remember when he did Cry Freedom, when he played Steve Biko, the South African guy. He was in Saint Elsewhere. That's right.
Yes.
The Mighty Quinn in 89. Then it goes to Glory in 89.
Right.
Mo Better Blues in 90.
Yeah.
I remember Mississippi Masala, one of my all-time favorites of his, Amira Nair, who's actually Mom Donnie's mother, but she's actually a really good actress. Hold on. Ricochet. Oh, God, Ricochet.
Right, but where is he in his career in like 2000? He's not an action star yet.
Oh, he did
this start him off?
Much Ado, Pelican Brief, Philadelphia, Crimson Tide in 95, Devil in a Blue Dress, Courage Under Fire,
right?
Fallen, He Got Game, The Siege, The Bone Collector, The Hurricane. Okay, so 2000, we get to 2000, we got Remember the Titans.
Okay, sure.
And we got Training Day.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So it's post-training. This is he's 2 Oscars in now. John Q, Antoine Fisher, Out of Time, Man on Fire. So, yeah.
All right, so this is his gonna be an action star period now.
Yeah.
Starting with Training Day, which he was fantastic in.
Yeah, he was. Manchurian Candidate, Inside Man, that's my favorite one with him and Spike Lee. American Gangster, Great Debaters, Pelham 1, 2, 3, Book of Eli, Safe House, The Equalizer. I love The Equalizer. I saw somebody in the comments say one time, I think that this guy just lived and went on to become The Equalizer. What else? Let's see. Many scenes between Denzel and Christopher Walken were completely improvised. The natural rapport shines through. Denzel was so mesmerized by 9-year-old Dakota's talent, he sometimes forgot he was acting and just watched her perform. She even called him out for staying in character too much and gave him the silent treatment. The team dove into Mexico's real kidnapping crisis, interviewing victims, families, negotiators, and even ex-kidnappers. They filmed in Mexico City, Juarez, and Puebla, with the actual chief of police consulting to add authenticity and raise awareness. The crew faced death threats, real threats, including some being robbed at gunpoint. Cinematographer Paul Cameron and Scott pushed boundaries with experimental techniques, overexposures, varying shutter speeds, 360-degree dollies to capture Creasy's madness and the city's intensity. I love that scene where he realizes what's going to happen when the kidnapping starts.
Yeah,
and they start that circular camera angle. He can see like everything happening, and he puts it together. He's like, "Oh fuck." You know, like I'm out here by myself, you know. Oh man, just a great fucking film.
It's good.
Yeah. Is there anything about this particular film that you'd like to bring up that we have not discussed?
I mean, we've discussed the Catholic stuff. It's just full of it. I don't know what Tony Scott knows and doesn't know about the faith, but you know, it being in Mexico City, it makes sense. If it's not going to be in Italy, putting it in Mexico City just makes a lot of sense because it retains that sort of that feel. But yeah, it's just all around good film. I got nothing else to say.
I think down there I think there's a little witchcraft going on down there too in Mexico. The brujas and that kind of stuff. Was it Santeria or whatever that particular brand of witchcraft that they have going on down there?
Well, was that part of it? There was a curse on him at some point.
Yeah, they put a curse on him. Yeah, there was a curse on him. that kind of thing. I thought it was interesting that unlike the standard action film, he's dying as he's getting this revenge on these people. Like
Yeah.
he's been gut shot, he's dying. Whereas the standard action film, the hero, like Jason Statham, wouldn't have died.
Yeah, exactly.
Liam Neeson doesn't die. These sorts of things. They don't. This guy has slowly been dying, and you're willing to accept it by the time it ends.
Yeah, because he's willing to, because he realizes that probably laying down his life is the only way that he can redeem himself, and he can get this life back. Which is, that fits with the theme.
That's a Christian fucking tenet right there.
Yeah,
he lays down his life for someone that he loves, and he's content to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did think it was fucking evil that once he finally gets a hold of the lead guy, he doesn't trade his brother for the girl. He trades his brother and Denzel.
Yeah.
For the girl. Just that one last fucking stick that one last hook in your gut.
But it's good that they still, like the other two minor characters, finally bring them to justice anyway.
Yeah, I love Giancarlo Giannini as the Interpol guy. And he just shows up at his house one day, just like that day. I think it just fucking shoots him. Oh, he just died during resisted arrest. Sorry, I had to shoot him. These sorts of things. I like that there is and Rachel Ticotin, who I never really see very much. I only remember her really from Total Recall. That there is this undercurrent of honesty. But it's just, they don't have the access. They don't have the power. They don't have any muscle. They're kind of they're trying to operate with their hands tied behind their back. But given, this honesty and this guy's willingness to use his muscle to do it outside the rules, guess what? Something actually gets done.
Well, yeah, that's what everyone wishes, is that someone would show up and start cutting off fingers,
Yeah. So, well, maybe we're getting there. I don't know.
Right. Well, where's the difference between, Denzel in this movie and like the guy from Falling Down?
Oh, Michael Douglas. Douglas. Well, nobody kidnapped his daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He just lost his job. He's pissed off.
Yeah, he's just had a bad day. He's having a very bad day, and it just keeps getting fucking worse. But yeah, nobody kidnapped his little 9-year-old girl and shot him in the stomach, and left him to recover in a fucking dog hospital. So there's always that.
There is that.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to the part in the film where we Let's get to the part in the stream where we rate the film. This channel has a rating system that goes from 0 to 5 up by halves. So 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, all the way to 5. So 0, for example, I'd rather live the rest of my life without air conditioning, all the way to 5, which is this is the journey, this is the destination, this is why we watch films in the first place. John Wick's dog's friend, what would you give Tony Scott's first-time view of Man on Fire?
I give it a nice solid 4. Great film. Kept my attention. Very well done. Like I said, they arranged the furniture on the deck really, really nicely. But I can't go all the way to 5. It is a trope, and a trope that's really well worn. It's an action movie. And I when we talk about what's cinema is, original takes on things, and it doesn't quite get there, but it's still a good movie.
All right. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go to 4.5. I think it deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dakota Fanning absolutely knocks it out of the park. You've got a fantastic cast. In terms of the revenge sort of thriller, it's as good as it gets. I'm trying to think of another revenge thriller that might be equal or better than this. Nothing pops into my head. Denzel, great. Walken, great. Even the evil guys that just play the Mexican criminals,
Mm.
Like they just look authentically fucking evil. Like it's that banality of evil. They don't look like the devil.
Yeah.
They're these little shrimpy, ugly, sweaty fucking guys that just, you know, like that guy.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, they get $200 every 2 weeks, and you know they're just like out there serving Satan, you know, voluntarily every day for $200 for $100 a week. You know, just soulless fucking people that you would pass in the street. You know, probably not give a second look at.
Yep.
They never look like the devil. They never. I remember, you know, if you ever watch documentaries on serial killers and like real serial killers, they never look like the devil.
Nope.
They look like your nerdy uncle.
Yep.
And you're like, you killed like 8 women? And, you know, what do you mean? You know, and they're still denying it like they've been in prison for 15 years. I don't know. I was framed. You know, like, okay. All right, Uncle Fester. No problem. All right. So, yeah, I thought the casting was just great. I love the shots. It's not cinema. But it is the highest level of it is a very high level of entertainment. So
sure.
All right. Anything you want to plug?
I got nothing to plug right now. Look for my band, Ye Old Bottom Turns. We play surf music in and around Belmar, New Jersey, and gigs coming soon.
All right. Sounds good. For this channel, we will be continuing next week with more Tony Scott, and we're going to get into a first-time viewing for me. We're going to get into The Hunger. So I'm looking forward to that. I've said before, and I'll say it again, the advantage for me for doing things with a director of the month is that I can pick films I haven't seen before from that person. So I'm going to get one more. I'm going to get The Hunger. We're going to get True Romance. And then I'm going to see if I can find one I haven't seen yet. Are they going to be cinema? True Romance really isn't cinema. But it's a really good film, good level entertainment film. Yeah, I can live with that. All right. My thanks to John Wick's dog's friend. We will see you all in the next video.